One of my patients, Helen, 68, couldn't even get up the second flight of stairs without shaking. If the Japanese can stay flexible into their 90 seconds, so can the British. We just need to change the way we move every day. They are not younger than you, they just move differently. And that is why they do not need a walker even at 85. I remember that morning vividly. It was a cold, damp October morning in suburban London, with mist lingering on the bayberry hedges. James Holloway, a 76-year-old former carpenter who used to carry heavy planks of wood like they were nothing, was sitting on a bench outside my clinic. He looked down at his feet and said quietly, "I just want to go down the stairs without holding on to the handrail." It sounds simple, but to me, it contained a silent cry for help. I have met hundreds of people like him, people who were once strong, independent, but gradually lost the ability to move freely without understanding why. They did not suddenly fall, did not get seriously ill, but just weakened, stiffened, little by little. And they thought, it must be old age. But in truth, not exactly. In over 20 years of practicing physical therapy, I have come to realize one thing. The difference between frail elders and healthy elders is not genetics, money, or luck. It is daily movement habits, seemingly small things that determine whether you can stand up, bend down, or simply walk out into the garden. When I was in medical school, we were taught that people start to age physically after age 40, joint fluid decreases, muscles atrophy, ligaments lose elasticity. But what many people overlook is that the human body is designed to heal if we give it a chance. Every joint, every muscle fiber has the ability to regenerate to some extent as long as it is used properly. In contrast, immobility is the fastest killer of health, faster than cigarettes or alcohol. When you're young, you bend, twist, walk quickly, climb stairs, stand up, and sit down hundreds of times a day without thinking. But as you age, you start to overprotect your body, sitting more, limiting bending, avoiding tiring movements. And that avoidance causes muscles to weaken, joints to stiffen, circulation to decrease, and balance to gradually disappear. It's a vicious cycle. The more you fear pain, the less you dare to move, and the more you don't move, the faster your body degenerates. This isn't theory. I see it every day. One of my patients, Helen, 68, couldn't even get up the second flight of stairs without shaking. We started with a few simple movements in the morning, and after 8 weeks, she could climb the entire flight of stairs without holding onto the railing. No drugs, no machines, just proper exercise habits. It was from stories like these that I realized, if the Japanese can stay flexible into their 90 seconds, so can the British. We just need to change the way we move every day. No need for a gym, no need for a complicated workout routine. The body just needs to be awakened every day, just like you start the engine before driving. So I created a string, 5 basic movements based on movement science and research from Japan, Germany, and the UK, specifically for people over 50. They are designed to restore joint fluid circulation, reduce inflammation, improve balance, and restore natural strength without causing muscle strain or injury. Each exercise takes just a few minutes and can be done in the bedroom, in the morning, or before bed. And best of all, they are so easy that anyone can start. In the following sections, I will guide you through each movement, explaining each clearly, why they work, which part of the body is being restored, and how so you can feel the results in just a few weeks. This isn't magic. This is biology. Your body wants to be healthy, you just need to help it remember how to do it. Before we begin, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. What bothers you the most every morning? Knees, back, or neck? I read them all and will respond to each one. And if you want to continue your recovery journey with me, please follow, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Who really wants to start tonight? Leave comment number 1. When I tell patients that just 5 minutes in the morning can completely change the way their bodies function, most people laugh. 5 minutes, doc? I haven't even finished making tea yet, they say. But those 5 minutes can be the difference between a day full of energy and a day without energy. Your body is like a sophisticated machine. After 6-8 hours of sleep, your joints are immobile, your synovial fluid is thick, your muscles are cold, and your nervous system is still in hibernation mode. If you jump out of bed and walk straight out the door without waking up your musculoskeletal system, your body will function for the rest of the day like a car that has been running without warming up its engine. That's why many people experience morning stiffness and chronic pain. The first movement I want to share, I call it wake up in the morning with joints, only lasts 5 minutes, but has been proven to be effective increase synovial fluid circulation by more than 30%, reduce lower back stiffness by 40%, and helps you stand up straight, breathe deeply, and be more flexible throughout the day. Start simple. Stand up straight with your feet shoulder width apart. Relax your shoulders and gently rotate your arms in large circles 10 times forward, then 10 times back. Inhale deeply as your arms come up. Exhale slowly as they come down. Next, slowly rotate your head to the left and then to the right, 5 times each, feeling each vertebra move. Then, rotate your torso from the hips, gently twisting from side to side, not too hard, just enough to feel a stretch in your back muscles. Next, keeping a fixed point for balance, gently kick your legs back and forth 10 times on each side. Finally, rotate your ankles 10 times, then raise and lower your heels 10 times to activate the small muscles around your feet. And that's it. 5 minutes, no sweat, no pain, no equipment. But what's happening inside is incredibly interesting. When you rotate your joints, the synovial fluid, lubricating fluid in the joints, is stimulated to circulate. The cartilage, which has no blood vessels of its own, absorbs nutrients from this fluid. In effect, you are feeding your joints breakfast. As you breathe deeply and move slowly, your heart rate increases slightly, and oxygen-rich blood begins to spread to the tissues that have been compressed during sleep. That is why, after a few minutes, your body feels warmer and lighter. A study by the University of Manchester found that people over 60 who performed a morning movement sequence for 2 consecutive weeks had averaged 22% improvement in range of motion and 37% reduction in knee pain compared to the control group. Strangely, they didn't gain muscle mass. They just awakened dormant muscles. I remember Helen, who used to dread mornings because every time she stood up, her lower back ached. When she started this 5-minute session, she said, "At first, I just did it to please you, Dr. Noah. But after a week, I found myself getting up lighter and suddenly wanted to walk around the garden." That made me believe that sometimes change doesn't require a big decision, but just a small action repeated long enough. If you want to try it, start tomorrow morning. Set your alarm clock 5 minutes earlier, get up, do those little movements, and just listen to how your body feels. You'll see the difference not in how tired you are, but in how much you living, better blood circulation, deeper breathing, and a clearer mind. It is the first building block in your recovery journey. Wake up the body before the world wakes up. In the next part, I will tell you about a habit that was thought to have disappeared in the UK, but is the perfect full-body workout, the thing that helps Japanese people stay strong without going to the gym. If you go to Japan, you will see old people sitting on the floor, eating, drinking tea, then standing up as if nothing happened. In Britain, many people in their 60s find sitting down to tie their shoes a challenge. What makes the difference? It is not genetics, it is not magic. It is habit of getting up from the floor, something most Westerners have long lost. I remember a patient very clearly, Mr. Richard Moore, 74 years old, a former physical education teacher. He came to see me because he had weak legs and had to hold on to the handrails when climbing stairs. When I asked him to try sitting on the floor and standing up, he laughed. "I haven't done that in 20 years. He tried, then realized he had to push himself up on both hands, stretch, even lean slightly to gain momentum. That's what happens when we let our bodies forget a basic skill. Stand up without help. Physiologically, standing up from the floor is a perfect full-body exercise. When you move from a sitting position to a standing position, 4 major muscle groups work at once: quadriceps, gluteal muscles, deep abdominal muscles, and muscles that maintain balance around the hips and ankles. These are the muscle groups that determine mobility and prevent falls in old age. In fact, a study by the University of Bristol found that people who could stand up from the floor without using their hands had 80% lower risk of death in the next 6 years. The reason is simple. If you can stand up on your own, you have the strength, balance, and reflexes to protect yourself if you fall. It may seem far-fetched, but you can start right in your living room. Just sit on the floor for a while each day. Instead of sitting on the sofa when watching TV, try sitting on a rug or pillow. Even if you have to lean against a wall, it will still help. As your body gets used to the floor, your hips, knees, and ankles will gradually regain their natural range of motion. Then you can practice the exercise FROM, the floor, up which I often instruct patients. Start in a kneeling position with one foot forward as if you were about to step onto a ladder. Push through your front leg, exhale, and stand up, possibly touching a table or chair lightly with your hands for balance. Repeat 3-5 times on each side. The goal is not speed, but motion control. As you get used to it, gradually reduce the amount of support you need, from 2 hands to 1 hand to just your fingertips. Eventually, you will be standing up entirely on your legs. Richard, my former gym teacher, did this exercise every day for 2 months. When he returned for a checkup, he sat down and rose from the floor in one breath, smiling like a child. "I don't know how long I've lost that sense of freedom," he said. "That's what I always try to help patients feel again, feeling in control of your body." At any age, strength lies not in large muscles, but in the ability to coordinate delicate muscle groups. Every time you sit down and stand up, you are training your nervous system, joints, and muscles to work together, something no machine can replace. I often tell my elderly patients, if you want to be free for the rest of your life, make it a habit to sit down and stand up every day. There is no need to force yourself to sit on the floor for hours. Just 5 minutes is enough to send a signal to your body that you are still moving, still alive. In the next part, I will share the third habit, a seemingly small thing, but it is the cause of knee pain for millions of people. If you know how to make changes, just one step can save your feet for years to come. One morning, I stood in Hampstead Heath Park and watched the elderly people walking back and forth. Some walked quickly, heads bowed, heels clicking loudly on the stone floor. Others walked slowly, backs straight, shoulders open, steps light as air. I could tell by looking at them who would still be walking 10 years from now and who would soon need a walker. The way you walk says a lot about the health of your joints, spine, and nervous system. Most Westerners walk on their heels. Each step is a small bang on the knees, hips, and spine, repeated thousands of times a day. Meanwhile, in some Asian cultures, especially Japan, people tend to walk on their heels. Whole foot, absorb shock, and keep the body in a central position. That is why they have less joint degeneration, despite living longer. But you don't have to go all the way to Tokyo to relearn how to walk properly right here. Try paying attention to your steps. Instead of hitting the ground with your heels, let your feet touch the ground more gently, distributing your weight evenly from the middle of your foot to the toes. Take shorter steps, but faster and more evenly. Keep your back straight. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head up toward the sky. Each step should feel like a gliding sensation, not a thump. Inflation and restored. Yes, when you do, you'll notice a difference. Your knees won't hurt, your hips will open up, and your breathing will be deeper. Researchers at the University of Cambridge have found that older people who walk with a center of gravity, gait that is, keeping their weight closer to their midline, can lose up to 30% pressure on the knee and 40% risk of losing balance. I had a patient named Eleanor, 70, who had chronic knee pain. When I showed her how to step on the ball of her foot instead of her heel, she was amazed that after just a week, her morning pain disappeared. "I still walk the same distance," she said, "but now I feel like I'm flowing, not struggling with each step." Walking is a simple habit, but it is the best overall workout you can do every day. It not only helps your joints, but also trains your nervous system. Every time you step on an uneven surface, rough pavement, grass, sand, hundreds of tiny sensors in your feet and ankles send signals to your brain to adjust your posture. It's natural balance training that doesn't require machines or a gym. If you want to make it a little more challenging, try walking on grass or a trail. Feel the changes in the ground, adjusting your body with each step. Each time you do this, you are training your nervous system to be responsive. The key to your toe, fall or not to fall when encountering unexpected obstacles. And finally, don't forget your hips, the center of all movement. Flexible hips mean a free body. Take a few minutes each evening to gently rotate your hips, stretch your hip flexors, or sit cross-legged on the floor. When your hips are flexible, you'll feel your whole body free. And as Preston's and Rollabert 7. The 5 habits I share are not secrets, but way of life, a combination of movement, breath, and patience. When practiced regularly, the body will respond with flexibility, strength, and a sense of independence that age cannot take away. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. I am Dr. Noah Jupe, and I believe it's never too late to take back your power. Start small, just 5 minutes every morning, or one time getting up off the floor. Your body will do the rest. If you find these shares useful, please follow, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you are ready to start today, leave comment number 1. Thank you for being with me. May you always walk firmly, confidently, and energetically, no matter how old you are.